Hello, this is EDL 850, Educational Law, Module 16, my case study on Internet use violations. My name is Cody Kaler. Problem identification and analysis. What do I know? Ms. Walker is assigned very rigorous subjects and teaches with a great deal of seriousness. As a result, her students experience high levels of stress. Many students at the school have not experienced a great deal of low or poor grades and aspire to be either valedictorians or salutatorians. Dr. Forbes has received several complaints about the rigor of Ms. Walker's courses, and has discussed possible strategies to lower the stress for her students with her. Ms. Walker received an email that directed her to a web page that included highly suggestive comments about her personal behavior and criticized the rigor of her courses. The final comment stated, quote, "Who wants to make Ms. Walker disappear?" End quote. Ms. Walker called Dr. Forbes, and they came to an agreement to meet in the morning to sort the matter out. What do you need to know? First, you need to know what kind of strategies or techniques Dr. Forbes gave to Ms. Walker in order to lower the stress of her students, and why she hasn't been able to be successful in implementing them. Second, you need to know the district and school policies that apply to this situation. Examples of policies that could be involved or may be included would be technology, harassment, cyberbullying, among others. Third, you need to know who is the creator or creators and why they created this. This would be followed by creating and implementing a resolution to this event. Finally, identifying the problem. The problem is the environment and the relationships or lack thereof between Ms. Walker and her rigorous courses, along with her students. The stressful environment that Ms. Walker has created has brought on criticism both by students and parents on her teaching. The students from this affluent school community are not succeeding in the environment, and as a result, a web page has been created that is suggestive and even threatening towards Mrs. Walker. Proposed plan of action with appropriate strategies for implementation. A. Identify who was responsible. First, we need to speak to the alleged parties and parents that were proposed by Mrs. Walker as suspects due to her experiences with their behaviors in class. Next, use the resources available to us in order to investigate who is responsible for the email as well as the creation/participation in the website page if the suspects did not confess or if they are proven innocent. Finally, follow the policies in place with the district as to go about the meeting with the students and their parents or guardians. Part B, evaluate findings and follow district policy as to consequences for the responsible parties. After finding the responsible person or persons, we evaluate district policy as it pertains to threatening content, bullying, and internet responsibility. Next, we would take those findings and request a meeting with the person or persons and their parents or guardians to discuss the event and to attempt to determine a reason or intent for the event happening. Then, as an administrative team, we would consider the event in question and the responsible person or person's behavioral history. And then finally, the administrative team would give a final decision, of course, in line with district policy, on punishment or consequences for the offense. This would include possibilities such as suspension, both in or out of school, withdrawal from Mrs. Walker's course, and a permanent record of the event on file. Ms. Walker would need to meet with the administration to work on teaching strategies to lighten the stress on students in her courses. Resolve the issues based on promoting the success of all students. Both parts A and B. What is best for the students with facts to back up the resolution of the issue? When it comes to what is best for the students, the best possible resolution would be an apology followed by some sort of education in harassment or online responsibility or bullying. This could come in the form of a class or a paper on the subject of internet responsibility and ethics. Along with the consequences that the student would face would be an additional training or aid to Ms. Walker in order to ensure that she continues to improve in creating a classroom environment that is conducive to student success while also maintaining rigor. Ms. Walker could be assigned a mentor teacher or administrator, such as Dr. Forbes, that could assist her with this until she reaches a level that benefits the students and their learning. This would also incorporate some relationship building strategies in order to aid in the transition into a positive learning environment for all students in the future. Debrief the problem by reflecting on what you were thinking, feeling, and valuing, and by identifying the issues that are unresolved or open to further investigation. My first thoughts when evaluating this case was that this whole situation could and should have been avoided with a simple fix. This learning environment lacked communication and relational capacity between Ms. Walker and her students. Students will meet and exceed expectations if the highest effort is given by the teacher to create an environment of care and respect. If Ms. Walker would have worked more at creating that environment and lessening the stresses on the students, the situation would not have occurred, I believe. I felt very badly for all those involved in this case. Ms. Walker meant well by setting high expectations for these students in order to give them a great education. The students did not recognize the possible effects of their actions with the creation of the website. And Dr. Forbes attempted to assist his very qualified teacher in creating a positive learning environment for all students with the addition of teaching the strategies he proposed. I value the idea of giving students the ability to learn from their mistakes as long as they have not abused that ability several times before. I think there is something to be said about a student learning from their mistakes and responding to them in a way that benefits not only them, but others as well. Part B. I believe issues that are open or unresolved would be the ability of Ms. Walker to create an environment that is conducive to student success. She has proven through her education that she is very capable of teaching the rigorous content. Now the question is whether she can teach it in a manner that benefits students and does not cause them unnecessary stress or harm from that stress. I also think that the additional observations would need to be made of the students, whether or not they truly learned from their experience, if they were in fact guilty, or if they continue the irresponsible online activity in the future. Reflect on Standard 5 by providing evidence that you, as a building level administrator, promote the success of all students by acting with integrity, fairness, and in an ethical manner. How did you, as a building level administrator, demonstrate a sense of integrity and ethical behavior that serves as a model for all members of the school community? When I first received the complaints from the parents and the students who were enrolled in Ms. Walker's course about the amount of unnecessary stress and rigor of the course, I reached out to Ms. Walker with some possible strategies she could employ to benefit both her and the students. Upon receiving the call from Ms. Walker, I asked her to forward me the link to the website so that I could analyze the content myself in order to make a decision on whether or not I believed a plausible threat to be present at the current time. In my opinion, that was not the case, and I believe that the situation could be addressed first thing in the morning. First thing in the morning, I would take Ms. Walker's initial theories of suspects into account and speak to them. If no confession was made, I would then turn to my resources to find the author of the email through the district technologist and their ability to find email origins. How did you, as a building level administrator, treat people fairly, equitably, and with dignity and respect? I spoke to Ms. Walker about adding strategies that would possibly help her create a positive learning environment for her students and gave her the chance to correct the issues without negative evaluation reports. Upon Ms. Walker's accusations of particular students, I decided that I would speak to those students first thing in the morning myself and make a decision after hearing their side of the story. If no fault was assigned after speaking with the suspects, I would turn my efforts to finding the guilty party through the district technology resources to find the origin of the email without further accusations while continuing search for a solution. How did you, as a building level administrator, demonstrate a personal and professional code of ethics that inspires others to higher levels of performance? The initial attempt to address the complaints of rigor and unnecessary stress on the students from Ms. Walker's courses was one of a personal and professional approach. It maintained my support for Ms. Walker and her teaching, while also attempting to help both Ms. Walker and the students in the betterment of the learning environment. I believe the decision to analyze the webpage myself was the initial effort to solve the issue that was brought to my attention in order to formulate my own assessment about the threat. And then the final decision to interview the suspects and then take the case to the district resources in finding the origin of the email shows my respect for Mrs. Walker's suggestions, while also treating the students with the fairness of an innocent until proven guilty approach.